Good evening, everybody. It's very kind of you to join us for today's session. I thought I would start by saying that we were also, I sent a message to the RBI Governor, Mr. Shaktikanta Das, who sent me this message saying, please accept my appreciation for this initiative. I'm tied up with meetings of the Monetary Policy and BRICS, but I've passed on the information about the memorial meeting to people who worked closely with Dr. Chakravarti. And I'm so touched to see that so many people who worked with him at RBI and at various banks are here today. We, as Moneylife Foundation, are going to miss him a lot because he had a lot of valuable advice for us. But I'm going to start by asking Mr. T.S. Krishnamurthy, former election commissioner and our trustee, to say a few words about Dr. Chakravarti.
Very good evening to all of you, and indeed glad that Dr. K.C. Chakravarti had an untimely demise. He was quite young, even by modern standards. I don't know what happened health-wise. But what impressed me most was I came to know of him when he was chairman Indian Bank at Madras, when I was the commissioner of income tax at Madras. And we had once or twice met personally, and thereafter when he was Punjab National Bank also I had met him. What struck me most was his bluntness and his independence in his views. And he had never compromised on taking a stand on any issue. And he was very close to the issues relating to investors. And he had no hesitation in talking about their interest and being blunt about policy changes to be made in their favor. I believe he started his life first in Banaras Hindu University as a student, and thereafter he worked with Bank of Baroda and later Indian Bank and Punjab National Bank before he became deputy governor of the bank. Even as a deputy governor of the bank, he had taken open stand, sometimes controversial, but his sincerity and loyalty and his contribution to the public welfare can never be doubted. And we are very sad that he left us so soon. And in Moneylife Foundation, also he used to be very, very blunt in his views and advice, which are always valuable. There's no doubt, because generally in many of these areas, there's a tendency to toe a line and not to take a mild line. And in administration, I think one has to be frank and free and fair. I think he was doing his job so well, though he entered into some people having different about it. But his absence will be missed wherever he served, whomsoever he came into contact with. And I would only say, may his soul get Sadgati. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Krishnamurthy. May I now request Mr. Mundra if you would like to say a few words?
It is a shock which we have yet to come to terms with. For me, because we are all from Bank of Baroda family, and as just mentioned, that was the alma mater of Dr. Chakravarti, where he grew from the ranks. So he was a mentor and guide for me. Takes me back to the memory lane on several things. But what I remember, I think first time I came to know about Dr. Chakravarti was somewhere around in the year 1999. In Mumbai, in this area, in the Bank of Baroda, he was very well known. But before that, I was working in the hinterland, predominantly in MP. And I had no idea who Dr. Chakravarti is. As a Scale 3 officer, I was attending a training session in Ahmedabad Staff College. And where he came, probably was a DGM or GM there. And I still remember it was a session on ALM. And we had some confrontation. I mean to say, the people who were already in Mumbai, probably they were wise enough never to cross sword with Dr. Chakravarti. But I, coming from, the other area, not knowing, we did engage into some exchange, some arguments, all on the policy matter. And later on, I was really scared inside when I came to know about the profile and all that. I think I have done a blunder, and it is something which will be quite detrimental to my career. I didn't know at that point of time that this was his style. He was a contrarian by nature, and it was his style to invite a confrontation. And of course, logic, it was very difficult to beat Dr. Chakravarti. Even knowingly, he might be advancing something which will be contrarian and still prove that it is right. To my surprise, soon after that, I got promoted as chief manager. I came to Central Office, Mumbai. And then I came to know that Dr. Chakravarti had asked the top management that this batch, whosoever is coming, he will pick up few people who would be under his grooming. And it was a surprise that I was one of those. This is how this association started. Then I worked with him, Treasury. There are other people who would like to speak, so I won't take much time. But I only say that I see some kind of providential connect was there, because thereafter in several positions I followed him. So like Treasury, he initiated me. I ended up being the general manager in charge of Treasury in Bank of Baroda. Subsequently, I went to London to head the bank's UK and European operations, where he was heading the same position a generation before me. Finally, we both of us landed in Reserve Bank of India. He as the deputy governor, and then I followed him in Reserve Bank of India. So I would say there had been a providential connection. All of us know about. There was a lot to learn from him, and the kind of I would say his heart and soul which he put for the financial inclusion, for the fair deal to the consumers, the regulation being in the right place, and being having the empathy. I think those are the things which are his lasting contribution. And all of us, wherever we are working, if we can carry some of those values and contribute to the system, I think that would be the best tribute to him. We miss you, Dr. We miss you very much.
How nice, Mr. Mundra. It is exactly our experience in Money Life also. He was, of course, very ready to break with what he was advised in RBI and meet us, first of all, at Money Life Foundation. And not only that, he provoked us. So in fact, it would be like fighting matches. And until he burst out laughing, we then realized that he was saying it only to hear what we have to say and get a rise out of us. And so it was always such a surprise that he came and attended, our first anniversary, when most people in the RBI didn't want to, hear anything contrarian, and of course joined us as a trustee. I'm so glad that a lot of his colleagues are here and want to speak. I'm going to ask Dr. Khandelwal to speak next, and then Mr. Jagan Mohan Rao, who worked very closely with him. Dr. Khandelwal?
I think it was on Friday. It was a kind of a black day. In the morning, we came to know of this news, and it was so shocking that Dr. Chakravarti could die through a heart attack, massive heart attack, There was absolutely no indication about his health. But anyway, he has been our colleague for a long time. I was in a staff college right from 1980 till 93, and he was a regular faculty member. So we used to meet him practically every month. He used to come in one or the other program he liked to teach. By nature, I describe Dr. Chakravarti only with one phrase, that is that he was a rebel talent. He had to disagree with you on the first occasion. He could even intimidate you with his logic. But most of the time, he stuck to his logic. He was never in popularity contest. And he was a sort of a heretic. But the most important thing is that he could speak on both the sides. Very few people know outside Bank of Baroda that he was also an important activist of our Officers Association. So while he could argue in the association one thing, and he could argue the same thing within the management, and somehow he could manage this tightrope walking. I do not know how, but he could do that. Normally, persons with certain degree of confrontational personality trait cannot survive. But Dr. Chakravarti not only survived, but grew very fast because he was a rare talent. And he was talent in the area which bankers shunned at that time, statistics, figures, and whatnot. And so he was the darling of top management. And whenever top management wanted to fire some zonal managers, they will bring him as a cameo, or rather a main actor, to find fault with everyone. So if you say, I have met my target, he will say, but these 10% branches have not performed. But anyway, he lived with that. But at personal level, he was very, approachable, very warm, And I especially remember when I was executive director and he was general manager of London, and we had a terrific industrial relations problem. And I told Dr. Chakravarti, if you cannot fight this problem, it has been pending, nobody can fight. And he lived up to that expectation. So we remember him for variety of things. And I think we need people like him today in this disruption when we need rebel talent, not pliable talent. That's all. I would remember Dr. Chakravarti for his fantastic contribution in Bank of Baroda, and a personality you cannot forget. And everyone has good memories about him. Thank you, Sucheta, for giving me this opportunity to speak few words about Dr. Chakravarti. We miss him. We miss you, Dr. Chakravarti.
Thank you so much, Dr. Khandelwal. May I now request Jagan Mohan Rao to say a few words.
So good evening to everyone. I worked with Dr. Chakravarti almost 5 years, but I don't want to go the memory lane for all the 5 years, but I tell you certain things which were not generally in the knowledge of the public or which were not written about Dr. Chakravarti. Of course, everybody knows Dr. Chakravarti was a brilliant banker and he doesn't suffer fools gladly. The fact that he suffered me 5 years doesn't mean I was not a fool. Maybe he didn't call me out loud. So with this, I'll tell you. Dr. Chakravarti, he likes challenges, You have to give him a big challenge. Otherwise, you are no good. So when we were, inspecting all the banking system and all other thing, I found out 2 banks. They were not exactly arm's length. And I told him their relationship is anything but incest. He told me not to use the word because governor is a Puritan. He doesn't like the word. But anyhow, without using the word, I went ahead with presenting the entire analysis to him and to the BFS. When I presented, he didn't say anything at all. But when we met the bankers and other things, he went blast at them. And they requested 1 year time to change their structure. I was reading only 1 month back. Of course, after that, both of us have left the bank within 1 year. I took VRS, he took VRS. But last month, I saw some bank and housing finance company announcing that their structure was, they're going to change the structure. Another private bank has not yet come around. So, but if you give him, but you have to satisfy with a lot of statistics and all other things. Even when reduction of the housing loan downwards, upwards and all other things, he made me do the exercise for the last 10 years of 48 banks. Then only he took a stand, open stand against banks not reducing the housing loans when they go down. So he knows what he's talking. He knows his onions. Sometime back in 2009, of course, I knew Dr. Chakravarti before he came to the Reserve Bank of India because I was the principal inspecting officer for Bank of Baroda and Dr. Kannan was there as the chairman. And after a few days, I was called back for obvious reasons. Many of you may be knowing, but Dr. Chakravarti was coordinating with me. But when he came to Reserve Bank of India, he said, I was waiting for you by the lift in Balladpay. Now it is your turn to wait for me at the lift. I have come as a deputy governor. Laughingly, he said. After that, we worked very harmoniously. But when there was a setback to him in his reduction of portfolios in the Reserve Bank, I was there with him in the dark days. I stood by him. I didn't abandon him. And I also found a way to keep his talent in good use by, canvassing for him to become a deputy director in OECD INFE program, OECD. Commonwealth program, OECD, financial education program. We campaigned for it, succeeded it, and that is how, he found his voice again internationally and other things, very happy for 1 year. And after that, he got back all his portfolios, plus something else also, and everything. Then when we were initiating this risk-based supervision in the Reserve Bank of India, he allowed me to run the entire argument with the Board for Financial Supervision, Central Board of Directors, and all other things and all. At the end, when the questions were there about this, he stood there like a commercial banker who knew everything at all. He answered every question to all the central bank people and all other things, including to fellow deputy governors who was questioning that. You have to give him something substantial to convince him that there was argument. That is one thing. Other side of the Dr. Chakravarti is when we went abroad many times together, we were there along with Mr. Chakravarti was also there sometimes. Once we went to Brazil, to meet the governor there, we had a meeting. In between the meeting, governor said he has rescheduled the meeting for 4 or 5 days. Then I said, what do you do in Brazil? Let us go to Manaus, which was the north part of Brazil in the Amazon. So he said, how much does it cost? I said, these many dollars. He took out these many dollars, gave it to me, the rest. We went to Manaus. Then I said, what are you going to do? I said, let us go into the Amazon by small leaky boat with one man operating it. And he asked me whether I knew swimming. I told him, I knew swimming, but I can't save you. I will only save myself. He said, I have made all the arrangements for, if I go, my wife will live, my son will live, all other things. But he was there in that leaky dinghy with me for 5 kilometers into the Amazon where the river Negrito meets. Similarly, when we went to Moscow, I took him to all the underground Moscow because metro, if any of you have not seen, Moscow metro was beautiful. It was, each of the stations was, it is like, art gallery. That was that. He had that. He used to say, what is there to see other thing? It's all bunkum, waste of time. But each time I used to drag him. Once I dragged him in Cape Town early in the morning, up to Cape of Good Hope to meet both the Washington equator, brought him by 11 o'clock. I had to wake him at 5 o'clock, which he hated. Not any Bengali doesn't like to wake up before 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. He's a typical Bengali. But there is no funny side to him other than, even during the drinks, he always used questions on financial matters. I think he eats financial things, he dreams it, he sleeps it, he walks it. There is no other thing other than discussing with either economic history or financial thing or banking and all other things and all. But everybody thinks, is very tough with the people. No, that is only apparent show of it. But the moment they go, he will laugh it off. I frightened that fellow. That's all the thing. The only way to get his signature was I used to steal his pen and say, first sign, I will give you, then only I will ask you to read it. Or I will listen to his lambasting of my own colleagues for 20 minutes, non-stop. And some of them are thought of even committing suicide because of his other thing. Then I used to tell them, nothing, doesn't matter, just waits outside. Then at the end of it, I used to ask him, I am very hungry, I want to eat idli now. He says, what is this? I am talking about the serious matter you are talking about. I said, I heard you enough, but I am hungry, let us eat first. I should have some energy to discuss with you. There it used to be there. So there is a certain way of dealing with him. One is, if you lie to him, and if you are not strong fundamental, if you are not good in fundamentals, he can call your bluff in no time, within a minute. The fact that I had also mathematics and statistics background, like economics and all. We gelled well, perhaps. We were colleagues, but I was more a friend to him than a colleague. At the end of 2013, he only told me, you know, I am also thinking of, he shared with me his plans to leave Reserve Bank. Then he said, you won't survive in Reserve Bank because you are another fool like me. So better you go for, you know, that is how I went as the managing director for Banknote Paper Mill, thanks to him. Thanks to him. After that, he also resigned because he doesn't need to take government or Reserve Bank permission if he goes away from the bank for 3 weeks. I tell you, his contribution to financial education apart, he changed the structure of the balance sheets through RBS. Of course, RBS by baby. I wrote the report as a member secretary. He was the chairman. There were all commercial banks. But he wanted to fundamentally change the banking structure. But his hands were tied because regulation was not with him. Only supervision with him. That is how in the report we said so many things about the regulation and supervision, how it should be and all other things and all. But had the regulatory department been with him, I am sure the banking structure would have been different and would have been in a position to face any even financial crisis without injecting any capital in the banks. A loss. It was a loss of the bank. Even when he is alive, it was a loss to the banking sector. With him no more, we have lost a brilliant banker and a good friend of mine, Dr. Chakravarti. I'll miss you a lot. Thank you.
Ask Mr. Santanaraman to speak, please.
Good evening to all of you. I had the privilege to be with Dr. Chakravarti, a very towering personality with a booming voice in Indian Bank for about 1.5 years when he came as the chairman. A great personality who was committed to the financial inclusion. We had the lead state responsibility for Pondicherry. He ensured that every household was covered under the financial inclusion. And a great planner. I think I learned so many things from him. I think every day was a learning. Morning we used to have conference every third day. And the first thing he will start with is all you are all useless, incompetent people. He will start with that voice. And you know, it doesn't make much of difference to us because he used to hear that. But he made every one of the executives of Indian Bank learn something during his tenure. And you know, during the time the bank was undergoing a lot of transition, you know, Indian Bank was in a great problem. Madam Ranjana Kumar came after Mr. M.B.N. Rao. Later, Dr. Chakravarti succeeded. And a great planner. The first day he came and said, sir, we are making profit. He said, oh, you are eating government's money. You got 4,000 crores of capital. You are only making interest and you are not making profit. So he told the entire union people, association people that you should work hard to really make the bank turn around. Since he had been in treasury in Bank of Baroda, his knowledge was extremely good about the, you know, how to manage the investments, how to look for the changes in interest rate, how to look for the market losses likely to come and try to pre-position each one of us. I had different experiences in Indian Bank. And before I moved to Bank of Baroda as executive director, I moved as the ED of Bank of Baroda between 2006 October to 2009. I worked with Dr. Kandalwal and Mr. Malia when they were my seniors. He briefed about Bank of Baroda. He said, you know, what I can do, what I cannot do in Bank of Baroda. And since Indian Bank was undergoing the transition then and core banking solution was implemented and a lot of business process re-engineering. I mean, every day, as I tell you one thing, everything he will go meticulously. He never used to say good. He'll always say not good, not good. And, you know, one day I told him, sir, you are making every day, you know, cynically, why are you not making us really, at least some sort of, you know, encouragement? He one day then told me, you know, no, you should never give the encouragement right the first day. You should start asking, go on asking question, why, and never say it is not possible. And Bank of Baroda, when I came, I used to meet him. Later, he became Punjab National Bank MD and later to Governor of Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank of India. He used to call me to Reserve Bank and have a chat with me. A great personality. Now, those who work with Dr. Chakravarti gain enormously. He's a great human being, I will say. I used to tell him, sir, you are like a jackfruit. You are externally looking very, very rough. So sweet inside. So sweet. You may seem, because I have been talking to him almost for 15 years. Up to this January, he called me from, wherever he is, he used to call me, you have been calling me, why can't I call you and talk to you? And during 2006, when my father passed away in Chennai, But just only 1.5 years in Indian Bank. The moment he came to know, he rushed home, and then he was with me for about 15 minutes to give a lot of consideration. Really, I miss him because, and by the bottom of my heart, I've gone a lot of, turbulent times, but each day was a learning day, each day. And he stood with me for all of my, reasons for me. I miss Dr. Chakravarti. Really, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Santanu Raman. Very kind of you. Dr. Anupam Saraf, our former trustee, would like to say a few words.
I was quite shocked and saddened to learn of the passing of Dr. K.C. Chakravarti. I had the pleasure and privilege to sit on the board of Money Life with him for 5 years. And I shall remember his smiling face, his loud voice, his logical reasoning, his compelling arguments, and his willingness to take contrarian views. And despite all of this, being extremely good chair. We exchanged many conversations on banking, and particularly on banking and Aadhaar, and both during the board meeting and otherwise. So he used to call up many times and ask about views on Aadhaar linked banking. And it was extremely enjoyable to really pick his brains and his reasoning on how this is going to harm the entire banking sector. I'm sure he will be missed by many who he has definitely left a mark on. If life is measured by the friendship and good cheer that one spends and not by the years one lives, I think his would certainly measure very well. Please do convey my condolences to his family. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you so much, Anupam. That was really nice. May I now request Kaza Sudhakar, who worked closely with him at the RBI, to say a few words.
First of all, I would like to thank Money Life for having organized this meet. Thanks a lot, Suchaita and Devasis. Dr. Chakravarti, I used to call him Dada actually, because I first met him in 2004. He was a very close friend of my elder brother. So elder brother said, elder brother was in SBI, he was CEO of SBI operations in UK, and Dada was in Bank of Baroda. And he took me there, and I was quite surprised because it was nearly at the end of my visit, and I was expecting a suave banker like all the others. And when I met Dr. Chakravarti, I was taken aback. It was my first meeting, and then he told some problem to Prabhakar and wanted his views. Then he said, "Are you're in RBI, tu kuch bol." So I thought it will be nice and to speak to him in a very nice manner, and I sort of praised him and all. I heard good things about a Bank of Baroda, pura bol diya. Immediately he said, "Don't tell me what I hear from the peon to DGM in my office. I want some frank opinion and some truth from you. Whenever you meet me, you only speak the truth. You don't need to make me feel good about anything." So that was a very good introduction to Dr. Chakravarti. And years later in 2006, when Dr. Y.V. Reddy wanted some kind of urban financial inclusion, and he was very keen on something to happen in Dharavi. I think I remember talking to at least 10 bank chairmen. Nobody was keen to invest anything in Dharavi. Then I called Dr. Chakravarti and I told him. He said, "So finally I am the Vardabhai for you," or something like that, he said. Then I couldn't get it. He explained to me that only people like that survive there. But anyway, I will do the needful. And that was the first real bank branch, Indian bank branch in Dharavi, was the first bank branch in the midst of Dharavi. All the other Dharavi branches were actually on the road outside. So it went on like that. And in 2009, he became our boss. And in fact, what Jagan told about him is very true. Very few of us got to see that side. In fact, I only remember two of my colleagues speaking the truth like the way I used to speak. Rest of the people tried to, get to the good side of him, which was rather very difficult, because you have to, he was one very peculiar kind of a boss where you have to actually make a mincemeat of his argument. You have to point out all the holes in his argument. And then only he feels that you have done some study of what he has proposed to you. And if you go and praise him for what he has done, he said, "Bakwas mat karo, you just get out of this place." He was a man with a very rough exterior, but with a real good heart of gold. This I have seen in my customer service avatar. Whenever, many cases which were impossible, I thought, and I think one or two Sucheta also really pushed forward. It was done behind, and Jagan also played a good role in some of them. So he batted for the underdog in a very, very big way. In fact, when I was the chief vigilance officer of the bank, there was a very tricky case, and there are some committees of the bank. And I was told by my HRMD that he went berserk in that committee, that fellows like this have no place and all that and all. So I found that that office had already, at the first level dismissed that particular person. Then suddenly one day Dada calls me and said, "Kaza, that man has got 2 daughters and wife. What mistake has the family done to suffer a fate like this where they don't get any pension?" I said, "Sir, it's a very low-level person. The appellate is also the regional director. I am nowhere in picture." He said, "Chalo, ye bakwas band karo. I know tumhare paas tarika hai. I don't want this man dismissed. Compulsory retire karo, usko pension de do." That means if I tell anybody also, nobody will believe that in 3-4 such cases, he really ensured that the people get pension. Means the punishment is known to everybody, that that person has been removed from the bank, but his family was not suffering. One peculiar ability that I saw in him was he has got this uncanny knack of finding out some points about an issue which nobody else before can actually tell. He has the ability to notice such points. Well, people speak of his that 1 year of dark days. It was really a very bad period. I think I used to meet him almost every day during that period. And it was also something which I learned. Very few people stand by you when your days are not good. Some people used to meet him, were afraid of being seen around with him. And then he used to tell, "You see, this will teach you what life is all about." He always used to call me Prabhakar also many times, because that is my brother's name. And I more or less got used to it. After retirement also, we were in touch on and off. And whenever I used to be in Bombay, sometimes I used to go and meet him. I met him in the beginning of last year. And unfortunately, I didn't know that this will be so fast, because in January, he had sent me some message and I had replied to it. And it's indeed a very shocking thing. What he does is very fools actually. Means he used to tell something, "Arey yaar, kuch to karo." I said, "Sir, ये करने से ये शायद गलत भी हो सकता है." He said, "गलत भी होता है ना, होना चाहिए. You do something. You have to actually show some action for people to understand that you are doing something." मैं तंग हो चुका हूँ. लंबा नोट लिखते हैं, flag करते हैं, पसंद नहीं मुझे. So I think we had a very good working equation. I really miss him. He really helped me a lot in life. I'm extremely grateful to him. And this was a very shocking kind of experience for me. I miss you, Dada.
Thank you so much, Kaza. That was most moving. May I request Mr. Paliwal, who is also a colleague of his and the ED at the Reserve Bank of India, to speak next.
Thank you, Sucheta. And thanks Money Life Foundation and all my friends and admirers of Dada, as we used to call him. My first interaction was in 2000 when I was at Bankers Training College. Just a 3 minutes one. He had come at our request as a guest faculty there. And he just asked me, "What do you do at Reserve Bank?" I said, "Sir, I'm a trainer here." He says, "In commercial banks, the trainers are the ones who are not required anywhere." So that was probably his way of creating an argument and also knowing the person. I said, "Sir, each one has a different experience." And with that, he smiled. And the next time when we met was when he was the deputy governor at Reserve Bank in 2009. And for 2 years continuously, like say when I returned after a brief stint at Mauritius, the advantage which I had was that here was a person who was willing to listen,
provided you talk logic. He had a good reasoning, was there for the underdog. Behind that hard shell, which everyone used to say, and if you asked in any organization, I'm very sure, majority of the people would say, please don't go near him, he's going to shout at you. But I never heard him, like say once or twice when he was unhappy with others, we used to tell him, sir, apna BP kyun badha rahe hain? He said, these guys won't understand. Now that was the very soft side of his, and I very vividly recollect as Kaza and Jagan and Mundra Sahab has said that he had a very hard exterior, but a very, very soft person inside. He headed HR, I was heading HR at that time. And I tell you, he simply says, Paliwal, I like one thing about you. I said, sir, what? He said, you come very bluntly and tell me what has to be done, and you don't quote around the bush. So I think that was Dr. Chakrabarti, and I learned a lot. It was a pleasure working all the 3 years with him, which he was there at RBI. And I had the, I'll say, the honor and the privileged one. And every day it was a very, very great shock to hear about the sad demise. His teachings, his way of working, and Sadgati to him. And may the peace be there with all of us, whose place would remain in our hearts forever. I'm very sure. Only death will take that feeling out of it, which Dada gave us all the time. Thanks a lot to all the friends and admirers here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paliwal. We next have Mr. Sarkar, who was a former CMD of Union Bank and was also with him in Bank of Baroda. Mr. Sarkar.
Yeah. Good evening, madam. Thank you for giving the chance to just have my experience to share with. It is really extremely shocking news my other colleagues and the friends they just shared with. I worked about more than 28 years in Bank of Baroda. But first I met him in sometime in 1992. That time I was posted in Calcutta in Brabourne Road branch as a senior manager credit, very junior officer. And that time he was looking after the planning in Baroda office. And most probably that time he was AGM. So that time suddenly I was heading the advanced department in Brabourne Road branch. It is a very old branch of Bank of Baroda. So that time he called that, okay, you just call your team in the cabin of the chief managers, and chief manager told that he wants to just interact with you people in the advanced area. So really we are a little bit scared because I heard about his name and he is very tough talking person. So anyway, with a really very, shakiness in the minds, just I entered in the cabin and just he wanted just to share with us. So we are 4 or 5 officers are there. So he started telling that as a credit department head, what you are doing, Sarkar. So I told sir, okay, these are the way just we are doing this advance of our Bank of Baroda in this branch. What are your advanced portfolio? He asked about all these informations. Then he was telling that, are you going to visit a lot of tea companies, jute companies in the Eastern Belt, or some of the engineering units? Have you visited some of the places in the during your inspection? Only yes, sir. What you do after that? Only you're passing the checks in the department and only, just processing the proposals, reviewing the proposal over a period that you thought that is the only duty of a head of the, advanced department in the big branch. So I am really, a little bit shocked with my other teams also that basically what is the wrong with us. So he started telling that, okay, just you tell me how many people you met there when you visited any or inspected any tea garden. Have you met about 10, 12 laborer there in the small worker there? Have you just talked to there about the housing needs, their personal needs in respect of the retail loan? So we told them, sir, we are just trying to a little bit talk to them and we are circulating the scheme about these things. That is the problem, Sarkar. You people are only sending the circular to the branches and to the various people and we are not doing. Do you just really think about the retail market about in future lending? I am talking about 30 years back, how he is always ahead of maybe 10, 15 years about what the bankers was thinking of. He was telling that okay, all capital you are just getting from the government because that time this Bank of Baroda also was not, this public issue was not there. It came little later. Then thereafter he started telling that you don't go only by the yield of the company, what basically you are earning in the term loan or the cascade account. You just think about what are the other benefits you are giving to the staffs, not only the corporate customer, the big industry. Think of them I think that is very much needed in the future banking. So I was always just thinking that, okay, how basically he was telling. Then I was just a little bit mum for a few minutes. He is telling, Sarkar, you convince me or I will convince you that, okay, what is your think about it. So have a seat with them, your team, and think in this way. Same thing, what happens, whenever he just went as a ED in PNB, then Indian Bank chairman. Incidentally, when he was in chairman in Indian Bank, Mr. Santaram, my senior colleagues already shared with, that time he was the Indian Bank chairman, and I wanted just to meet him, and that day he called. Now he's telling that, okay, Sarkar, you are heading a zone and 4 southern big states are here. You think in this way, how really go for the various inclusions in this various is a very, 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 emerging zones in all the 4 states. So what basically I have seen in him, that he was always thinking 10 years, 15 years ahead. And that is the quality of him. A lot of people already, my colleagues also shared that, okay, he was very tough. Certainly he was tough. It's just like a coconut, very hard looking from the outside, but he's very soft about this. But whenever after talking 5 minutes, he wanted to share his about these things, how he can really look into. So a lot of things I have just learned in my banking career, though we are basically the commerce student, but he being a statistician and the statistics persons, how really he just, I think, expertise in this banking area, really it is astonishing. And everywhere his success is really remarkable as a commercial banker, as a chairman, and certainly as a deputy governor in RBI. When he's sharing a lot of things about the customers and a lot of things, I think he's the only person who thought about the housing loan repayment when no penalty was being charged, if I remember correctly. So these are the things you are thinking about this. So really, I'm missing a lot of things I learned, and certainly I'll just share all these good moments. And really, Dr. Chakraborty was my boss, certainly, but he's a great, great teacher. We are really missing and will be missing in future. Thank you to all for giving the chance.
Thank you, Mr. Sarkar. I think what every speaker has said resonates with us. I remember our first meeting where we were an urban NGO talking about issues that customers faced. And his first thing to us was, I'm not interested in the problems of middle class. You are the creamy layer. I'm only interested in the problems of the poor. And obviously, knowing that it was me on the other side, we had a huge argument. And then he burst out laughing, and we realized that, it was just his way, as everybody from Kaza to you to Jagan have said, just his way to be provocative and see how probably strong we were about what we felt, whether we knew our facts, what our arguments were. And of course, his support for us is evident to the fact that he joined us and became a trustee. Debashish would like to share thoughts, and then Mr. Vieira.
Well, there's nothing for me to add. I mean, much more illustrious colleagues of long-standing period in the banks have actually spoken. Everything that has been that is there to mention about Dr. Chakraborty. Provocative, very solid on facts, always trying to see how shocking he could be with his arguments. But one thing that I really learned from him is that the fact that one has to always think independently and always just go down to the root, the definitional issues of whatever you are discussing first. For instance, he'd be he would laugh and say, do you know that RBI has not defined a branch anywhere? I mean, that was so remarkable that we didn't even know that what is a branch is not defined anywhere. And that is something that he told us. And he says, yeah, but we are regulating. I mean, it's part of all the regulations. The word branch is being used without anybody having defined what is a branch. So there are lots of these sort of, very, very fundamental definitional issues which he regaled us with, and which would shock us, surprise us, enlighten us all at the same time. And not just in banking, about so many things. I mean, Sucheta would get very agitated about all kinds of malpractices and the kind of wrongdoings that are happening. And he would come up with this one line, which of course he wouldn't say it in public, I'm sure, even though he was very provocative in public as well on other issues. But he told us, well, democracy is not the same as civilization. So this is one of the things I'll never forget. He says, we are a democracy, but who says that we are civilized? You know, I mean, that's the reason why there's so much of wrongdoing that goes on in the society. So, and finally, two things. You know, a lot of people have said that he could sort of argue on both sides, and that is the most the remarkable thing about a thinker, as I've learned about other people in other areas of human activity, which is to hold two opposing thoughts simultaneously in your head. You know, and if I've ever come across one living example of that, that was Dr. Chakravarti. Now, of course, unfortunately, I still feel that he's around us, so that's why I use the term living example. But he was one such person who could actually hold opposing thoughts in his head and only described about great thinkers, or great artists, or great writers, or great philosophers, and so on and so forth. And finally, two things which are usually not found in the same person, which we found. And one is absolutely razor sharp logic. And people who have that kind of logic and who have that kind of control and over facts, was so good with their logic and arguments, usually do not have the second thing, which is deep empathy. So he was one person who had both extreme rational arguments and a deep sense of empathy for the consumer. I have not come across anybody in the financial services sector who would have the kind of empathy that he had for the customer. So I would just end with these words, and we definitely miss him, because if there's any controversial thing, anything that I needed to clarify, he's the person I would send a message to, and he would immediately call back, and we would have a 15 minutes at least, and possibly half an hour, 45 minutes of conversation. And those we will not have anymore. That makes me very sad. Thank you so much.
So I now end this session by asking Mr. Walter Vieira, our trustee, to say a few words on behalf of Money Life Foundation and himself.
Thank you, Sucheta. I have known Mr. Chakravarti for much lesser periods of time than any of those who have spoken. It's been an interaction only in Money Life Foundation as a fellow trustee. And therefore, I will not speak a great deal, because it hasn't been that intimate an interaction or that long an interaction for me to recount incidents of the distant past. But I must thank God that I had the good fortune of coming across a person like him, because it enriched my own life and my own sense of values and measuring values. And I'd like to add to what Dave has said earlier about empathy and the ability to manage two different globes of logic, sometimes absolutely contrary. And I would add to that, Chakravarti, through his sheer personality, projected a sense of high integrity, a great sense of honesty and integrity that he need not have shouted about. It came through. He was transparent in it. Whether he agreed with you or not, he was honest. There was no dilly-dally. And that is what many of you have talked about right through this interaction. I can only say, thank God that I met him, that we had interactions with him, that he taught me many lessons in the brief interactions that we had with him at the meeting, sometimes before the meeting, sometimes after the meeting, and before and after were always the loudest. During the meeting, he was more under control. And we enjoyed it. We enjoyed being with him. We enjoyed our interaction with him. And we can only say, as all of you have said, may God grant him eternal rest so that he can shout no more, but he can smile through in eternity. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. We were going to close here, but I just noticed that a very close friend and admirer of his has just joined us. So Hemendra Hazari, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah, I knew Dr. Chakravarti since he was a deputy general manager in Bank of Baroda, I think way back about 20 or probably 25 years ago. And what I noticed about him was his, deep sense and appreciation for research. And whatever he spoke, it was always grounded in some data. And as some of you may have already commented, he did not tolerate fools lightly. And definitely when he found my knowledge was wanting in some area, he was extremely forthright and he told it to me on my face, which I really did appreciate because I've told many things on other people's faces and it's good to get some of your own medicine back at times. But he was always very, very approachable, even when he became the chairman and managing director of Indian Bank, Punjab National Bank, and finally, even as the deputy governor of the Reserve Bank of India. The title of office did not, put him on some high peak. He was always approachable, ever willing to discuss ideas, ever willing to challenge and criticize my own ideas. And every conversation that I had with him, and I had many over the course of the time that I knew him, was extremely enlightening. For he always brought a very fresh perspective, which was so different. And it was like a ray of light, in a room full of darkness. And that's one thing that I always, appreciated. Of course, his booming voice, he rarely normally had a good thing to say of his colleagues. It makes it rather unusual. It did make him rather unusual in that sense, and therefore with his colleagues, he tended to be rather unpopular. And therefore one saw this very clearly in the Reserve Bank of India. And it was extremely unfortunate that the then governor, Dr. Subba Rao, could not accept any criticism. And although Dr. Chakravarti was not named in that article, he was held responsible. And as soon as I heard the news, I requested an appointment with him. And fortunately, he gave me that appointment the next day. And I just went to try to keep his spirits up. And as soon as I entered the room, he was, extremely cheerful. As he see, I really don't have much work. I am now in charge of Raja Bhasha. So that is going to keep me occupied. So even then, he used to always, look at the bright things in life, although no doubt he really must have been, a little demoralized. And I don't think it was fair for the then governor to have done such an action. But, that was Dr. Chakravarti. He was always willing to give his opinion in any forum. And he was really not that concerned what the higher-ups would have to say. And when I heard about his passing, there was a real deep shock. And it was, that whole day I remained extremely depressed. Because for me, like I guess for many others who are interested in banking, it was a tremendous loss of a mentor, of someone who took the time to listen to your views, add knowledge, see what different angle one could look at. And he was very much like a father figure. And therefore, I deeply mourn his passing and my condolences to his family and to Money Life for all the good work that he did in his lifetime. And it is indeed tragic that fate decided to intervene rather early for him. But I think the best way to remember him is to continue to do the work of, exposing misdeeds, of fighting for those who are not empowered, because these were interests extremely close to his heart. And in his own way, he encouraged them. He encouraged money life. He encouraged, deviant analysts like myself. So I think that's the way we would like to remember him, by keep doing those things which will help the downtrodden, the disadvantaged, and to speak up to the powerful. Because in many ways, that is what he did. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hemendra. We have with us Mr. Ramadurai and Ms. Gyansudha Mishra. Would either of you like to say a few words?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. You see, I had the wonderful opportunity to know late Dr. Chakravarti through the experience of very many speakers who I could hear today. As one of the speakers said, my interaction with Dr. Chakravarti also was extremely brief, when we had interacted in a few meetings, as in the meetings of the independent directors of one of the companies, very well-known company, India Bulls. And there we could introduce ourselves, and this is not too long ago, just a few years, maybe 2-3 years ago. And but I had traced him, first of all, in one of the TV conversations which he was, giving in 2016 on demonetization. And that, although I had heard of his name, but I could notice him as the former deputy governor of the RBI. And since I hailed from the legal profession, and that too from the judicial side, I was deeply impressed that here is a man who is really speaking without fear and that is what needs in the modern times, that we have to speak our mind. We are generally very subjective in our views. And I, for myself, I would always, get impressed with persons who speak their mind very clearly and give their views to any issue or situation. So when I came to know that this is Dr. Chakravarti, then I introduced myself to him that, I am one of your listeners to one of your talk show, and I felt impressed with that. Thereafter, when I saw him speaking very, very, expressing himself, I felt, all of us keep learning each day, even at this stage of my life. I said, because, I felt, a little, little constrained that I come from a judicial background and I don't have much experience of the working of the companies. So, whenever I had anything to discuss, I would always, not always, but once in a while would call him to explain that why did he said this and why he did not say that. So he was like a, discreet teacher to me, apprising me of the functioning of the companies and the financial world. And just a few days, a fortnight or maybe less than that, when I heard about his passing away, through the India Bull link only. It came as a shock to me, as I felt that he could still contribute, and he passed away rather young. And it's a great loss to the society to lose people who can speak their mind, as I said, without fear or favor. I came to know about this, condolence meeting today, and I made it a point that I must share it. It did take me some time to realize that it is the Money Life, if I'm not wrong, Money Life Foundation, which has organized this. And I really appreciate the initiative taken by this foundation to hold a condolence meeting, to offer our tributes to a man of sincerity and devotion, and did whatever he felt he was committed to. My very deep, sincere tributes to the great soul, and I express my deep condolence to the bereaved family. Of course, we'll miss him, and even the brief interaction that I had is a lesson that in whatever walk of life we are there, we must express our mind without fear or favor. That's the lesson, in the modern times that we need to learn throughout our life. My tributes to the great soul, and thank you to the foundation for giving me this opportunity to say a few words, who in a very brief interaction had created an impact on my mind too. Very many pranam to the great soul.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's very kind of you to join us today. I think Dr. Chakravarti, had he been here and listening to all the tributes that he's heard, would have been most amused that people saw through him. And I think Mr. Santanaraman put it very well when he called him a jackfruit with a hard exterior and completely soft inside. And I'm so glad that so many people saw that side of him. We're going to close this session by another person from the judiciary, from the advocate side. Advocate Jamshed Mistry, who has been a special invitee to the Money Life board, is here. I think he had got disconnected. So Jamshed, can we ask you to close this session?
Yes. Thank you very much, Sucheta. Yes, I mean, I was equally, suddenly I saw that Money Life Foundation's when they put up the template saying that Mr. Chakravarti is no more. And my first reaction was, he was the star of our meetings. I mean, I know we used to meet, and Walter, Debashish and Anupam are all here. But when he used to, and Mr. Krishnamurti, of course, and, when we used to actually wait for him to come to the meetings, and we would discuss everything mundanely, and then suddenly he would arrive at the meeting, and then he would just take off. And I think so many people have said so many great things about him. Yes, he's a phenomenal, sort of encyclopedia, I would say, of knowledge. And right from, as some ma'am, you talked about the demonetization and so many other aspects. I mean, he would always be willing to go that extra mile, and I think we will remember him very, very fondly for that. And some of the ideas that he placed on the table for Money Life Foundation have been, I mean, they've been absolutely, impeccable. And he, as somebody rightly said, he used to, I think, look for challenges, and he would always be remembered as somebody who, I think, even right till the end, he was willing to take the mantle a step forward. So yes, whatever brief interactions that at least I have had, I will always remember him to be a wonderful human being and an absolutely fantastic encyclopedia of knowledge in the banking sector. So we do miss him. and we wish to condole his death.
I would like to thank all of you for being here today. We at Money Life Foundation are going to miss him terribly. And I think I have to thank all of you for all the nice things that you had to say, and we'll try our best to convey a recording of this and your thoughts to his family. Thank you so much.